What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today I'm bringing you guys some more Forza Motorsport 5 drift builds. Now, in this video, I'm going to be doing a build of the Fiat 500 Abarth, which was actually requested by somebody on my Facebook page. So, this build is for them, and hope they enjoyed, and I also hope you guys enjoyed as well. And I will try to get to all of your requests as soon as I possibly can, because I know you guys have been requesting a bunch of cars, which is awesome. And like I said, I'm going to try to get to all of them as soon as I possibly can. So, let's go ahead and get to this build. So, we're going to go ahead and buy the car first. And let's actually look at the designs that we actually get, or at least the designs that we get access to. That flash one's actually kind of funny. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, that's nice. That's actually really quite nice. Oh, the Italian flag. That's nice, too. That's cool. You know what? I really like this particular livery. I like it a lot. I'm actually going to go ahead and go with this one, because this is awesome. A really awesome little livery. Oh, yeah, that looks beast. That looks awesome. Now, obviously, we're going to be swapping this thing from front drive to rear drive, but I don't know, I'm curious as to how this is going to go, because I've done a 500 Abarth drift build before, and it didn't go very well. But then again, on that one, I did a motor swap, and I did a couple of things that I maybe shouldn't have done, because I was kind of experimenting with it. But this one, I'll try to do it very logically, like, as in just using drift build logic, and just trying to do it as by the book as possible, because if I try and do it that way, then hopefully it'll work, because the last time I tried to kind of improvise a build with this car, it didn't really go all that well. So, like I said, I'm going to try and do this build a little bit by the book, and see what happens, see if it makes any difference. Now, before we do anything else, we are going to swap the drivetrain to rear drive, and let's see what kind of motors they give us, though, for a swap. We got 2-liter, and let's see. Where does it say I have no idea. Alright, 2-liter, 1.6, and a 3.7. Now, the 3.7 is a V6, which means, yeah, that 3.7, I tried that one, and it didn't work out all that well. But this 1.6, it's small, and it's extremely powerful and extremely torquey. So we're going to go ahead and actually do that. A 1.6 turbo, inline-4 rally motor. Now, this thing turns out some amazing power. So let's see what we can actually do with this thing. This might end up being a little bit crazy, but then again, that's what my drift builds usually are, and that's how I like them to be. A little bit crazy, a little bit harebrained, a little bit off the wall, I guess you could say. Get that carbon fiber driveline in there. Thank you. It was like, finally. I was like, finally, because it was taking its own sweet time to do it. Now, let's see. Are we missing anything? We've done the handling. No, we need to do the motor. All we can do is take the restrictors off. That's it, since this is a race motor. Let's see what kind of power that gives us. 435. Oh my god. 497 horsepower, which is basically close enough to say 500. And 589 pounds-feet of torque. I'm going to just go ahead and go full out, because that sounds awesome. Remove all the restrictors. Now, as far as the tune goes, I'm going to do it pretty similar to a lot of my other drift builds, but I'm going to try and see if I do it slightly differently, maybe, if it would make any difference. Like, slightly differently on the tire pressure. We'll leave the gearing alone until later. The alignment, let's bring that down to actually -2. Leave this at 1, 4, 5, 6, 3, and 6.2. Actually, let's just leave the front caster at 6. And for the anti-roll bars, we're not going to mess with them. Springs, lowering the ride height all the way, and definitely softening the springs up a bit. Down to around 459, 460. A little bit lower in the rear. And for the damping, we're going to bring this down as usual. Make it a little bit softer than I normally do. Let's see, 6 in the back. Now for 6 in the front on the bump stiffness, and 5.5 rear, and then for the diff, kick them both up all the way to 100. And let's take it to the track and see what kind of little monster we've created. Now, let's see, we could go to Bernese Alps, we could go to Circuit de Catalunya. But this is a different kind of drift car, though. It's really small. So I kind of want to test it at... the top gear. But, You know what? I'm going to take it to... I'm going to go ahead and take it to top gear, actually, because of the fact that it you know what? I've reconsidered. I'm going to take it to Prague, because Prague has a lot of corners that are actually quite well suited to smaller cars, smaller drift cars. Even though the corners are very wide and very open, and there's, like, basically all the room to do whatever you want with a really big car when you're drifting, the small cars actually work really well here as well, just because they're light, they're small, you can throw them around a lot, and the corners are huge, so you can take these huge speeds into them, go a crazy angle, and it doesn't matter, you're fine. Now, let's see how this thing sounds right off the bat. That's monstrous, that's awesome. That sounds epic. Seriously. And yes, it can do a brake stand. Wow, that engine sounds crazy. That turbo, too. Or blow-off valve. Not bad, not bad. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoo, that was close. That was really freaking close to the wall. But yeah, when that boost comes on, though, it just spins those rear tires. This thing is fun. I'm already liking it quite a bit. Whoa, whoa, dang. Come on. Not doing too well in that corner. Didn't have quite the line I wanted. It's alright, though. It's alright, though. Uh-oh. Get off the wall. Yeah, get off the wall. The wall is not a very effective place to be when you're drifting. Alright, let's see if we can turn it in. Get a little bit of more angle than... Yeah, not bad. Keep the revs high. In the boost. Stay in it. Gonna drift this section, even though there's no points. Even though there's no points in this section, we're drifting it anyway. Oh, God. That was too much. I mean, we kind of brought it back, but that was a little too much. The thing, since it has a really short wheelbase, it's kind of snappy. I mean, you can get used to it, but, I mean, it's shorter than a GT86. It's shorter than a, oh, God, what else? It's shorter than an RX-7. It's shorter than... most cars, that's a lot shorter than a 240. Shorter than a lot of cars that you'd use for drifting. And this short wheelbase is, like I said, a little bit snappy, but you can get used to it. But it's got a couple of odd qualities that you do have to get used to over everything else that the car does. It's not a bad thing, but it is something that you'll have to grow accustomed to. Because if you're used to drifting something big, especially like a muscle car like my GT500, then there might be a little bit more of a learning curve when you go to get into this. But I mean, it's not terrible. Oh man, as I say, it's not terrible. But no, it's not terrible. It's not that bad at all. With the chassis is not bad. It holds angle pretty well. You do have to kind of get into the power and not allow it to kick out too much. But see, that's the thing. You have to be kicking it out all the time. But on the other hand, you can't kick it out too much. Otherwise it'll just bite you with that little snapping that it does. But once you're in the boost, really, once you're in the boost, it stays sideways. It really does. And the sound of that 1.6 turbo, is insane. Remove the restrictors. This little rally motor screams. See if we can stay a little bit wider this time. Maybe get some more points. A little bit better, I think. I don't exactly remember the score from last time, so I think it's a little bit better than last time. Alright, let's see if we can do better on the uphill corner. Oh, geez, that's some angle. That was a little bit more than I wanted to initiate that. Oh, geez, oh, geez, oh, geez. Oh, my, oh, wow. I went to avoid the wall. It's like I knew I was going into the wall if I didn't brake. But then again, right after I braked, the car snapped in the other direction. See, that's that surprise snap that it does because of this short wheelbase. And it's also, you can feel in the chassis that this was meant to be a front-wheel drive car. Like, you could tell that it's not, it doesn't struggle with being rear-wheel drive, but there are some times when you can just tell. It feels like it's in a configuration that it kind of wasn't meant to be. It feels a little out of its comfort zone. I mean, it handles it pretty well. Some front-wheel drive cars in this game are terrible at rear-wheel drive swaps. Like, they just want to plow in the corners, and they feel like they just want to tell you that you've done something wrong. Like, they refuse to work. This car, it wants to work with you. It really does want to work with you, even when you swap it from front drive to rear drive. The thing is, though, you need to be aware of that. You need to be aware of the fact that this car, when swapped to rear-wheel drive, is not in its optimal configuration. So there's gonna be a few little things that are either unexpected or just plain weird that weren't originally intended to be there. But you can get used to it. You can get used to it, and it is a whoa. Thank God I banked my points earlier. Woo! But it is a fun car. It is a really fun car, and a car that I think personally definitely deserves to be drifted more, and definitely deserves these rear-wheel drive swaps. But also at the same time, you got to remember that since the car is not in its optimal configuration, it's never going to be, say, well, I don't want to say never, because you can, if you really focus on the tune a lot, you might be able to dial it all out and really make it feel like a true rear-wheel drive car. I mean, it is swapped to rear-wheel drive now, but I could still feel a little bit of hints of, like, just kind of weird handling characteristics. But if you're willing to go in and really mess with the tune, then I think you might actually be able to make a really effective little drifter out of this car. A really effective little drifter. So, I definitely recommend building one if you like the 500 Abarth and want to give it a try at drifting. And if you guys enjoyed the build, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section below what you thought of it, and what other cars you would like me to build. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys later.